AI side of things. That they want the population under control to a certain degree, reduce the population, and then have them do administrative tasks, and everybody else be um, basically surplus plus. They see us as you see everybody as usefully as apart from those who are willing to do their administrative bidding. So those who sell them out at the top of the system who are helping them, and the rest to see is it's them and us basically. It's divide and rule. They're not the people at the top are wicked and evil. They're not part of the natural people that are here. There's some people that are they're not part of us. That I call them soulless creatures. There's something wrong fundamentally with these people that makes them different. They lack empathy. They lack there's certain things. The aspect of them that they lack that they lack for the fellow people. So they're different. They see themselves as different. And they see themselves that they can do as they please. But so unfortunately for them, unfortunately, they're sadly mistaken because some of us see this nonsense that they're spouting. So they're going to continue to do this. Don't be surprised. They've been taking us out for a long time. Coronavirus was just the start of the pandemic was just the start of that. With the pork and the stuff that's inside there to stop with the mercury to stop people reproducing. They've been at this Bill Gates and Melinda Gates with the foundation with what they're doing in Africa with some of the stuff they've been doing there. This has been planned for. They've been at this for decades. Some of the stuff they've been doing. So it's a multiple vectored
Over a
attack. It's not
century,
one.
actually.
Yeah. So say that again. Sorry.
Over a century, actually. It goes back to Margaret Sanger in the
Yeah, I'd
1910s.
agree with you, Madam Blavatsky, and that. Yeah, I'd agree. It's been they've been planning this a long time. Um, the destruction of the fellow men and women. So yeah, it's just that they've accelerated it with feminism in the '60s with the birth with the pill. That's been one of the big aspects of this with feminism, and then obviously recently with the LGBTQ stuff they've been pushing recently. It's a multi-layered vector attack, um, and anybody who speaks out against it, they're just counselling them at the moment.
Oh, that's what you get for giving up on religion as an alternative to the communism, because they have a religion. Communism is their religion. They're willing to kill and die for it, and they are killing and dying for it. And because you did the mistake of separating church from state, you end up with a system where every moral value becomes flexible and can be exchanged for something. And once you have a financial interest that is willing to exchange moral values like the family unit or the education of the children or castrating them in the name of reducing population, then you have no inherent defense against such manipulation. That's why, in my opinion, I mean, it's easier to talk from here. You need to abolish the separation of church and state. I mean, the Church of England is not exactly a reliable source, because I hear you have LGBTQP deacons or vicars or whatever you call it, who are also promoting the same degenerate stuff. So you need to dig deeper for the religious values that you need to uphold. And if it's not coming at the state level, which it won't, because the financial interests pushing this movement are too strong, you need to go into back to the local community, to the small town mentality, because in the big city you will not have a choice. They create a system where their agenda is thriving, so your best and only chance is to retreat into the countryside, to the smaller communities where the government's reach is more limited. Or that's what I think at least you should do.
Do you think no, they are just using that community for their own gain too, so they take the flack? Because that's how I see it. They've
No,
done it with everything else. They've done it
no,
with that, and they think I'll push this or so the ordinary people of that community get attacked. That's how I see it, really. To
no.
push their
They don't.
game.
They don't just want to exploit them. They want to turn everybody into part of that community, because once you have the overall strategy of their attack is to rob any person of any sense of identity. They need to deny they need to destroy reasons for refusing orders. So they want the population to be as compliant as possible to the government's dictations, and the less inhibitions you have. What's the word I'm looking for? Conflicting loyalty. If you have a family, if you have children or a husband and wife, then you have a conflicting loyalty with the interest of the government. If you're in the past part of the clan, then you have the interest of the clan that are separate from the interest of the government. And it goes down to your basic sexual identity. They want your sexual identity to be manipulatable by the government, so that the government will tell you who you can be sexually attracted to. And of course, even as a child, they will dictate that you need to be. They actually did this in Germany. They started a quote experiment where they gave convicted child rapists children to adopt, at least 10,000 of them, to create a new type of family. This was done by the administration of Berlin. They actually did that, and they actually were not punished. So this is part of the attack that they're aiming for. So they create people who cannot maintain a stable family. I mean, one of the funniest things about the whole LGBTQP agenda is that they said they want marriage, and their divorce rates are actually much higher than for the normal people. So they create people who are both sexually deviant and unable to sustain a stable family. That is their goal. People who have no identity other than the government and depend on the government to protect them as a minority of various forms. So they do not want to have a dominant majority of people who agree on something. They want a lot of minorities who depend on the government to defend them from the other minorities. So
Divide and rule. Yeah, it's just modus
yeah,
operandi.
it's
Again, dialectic. They've always done this. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Pence
the
betrayer. I don't know if
broken
you ever heard that
coalition
term.
strategy is what Sololinsky called it.
Yeah, it's under the doctrine of what's called. I don't know if you've heard this. You'll have heard the doctrine called Pence betrayer. Don't know if you've ever
Yeah.
heard of the term. Well, Pence betrayer. So basically, it's the state government. It's the state's becoming the dad, and that's basically what it is. The state is becoming the parent, and they're dictating what you're going to be doing, saying whatever it is that their agenda. Like he said, taking orders, and they want compliance. Control and compliance is what they want, and they can only do that with divide and rule, because they'll say one side says this, you lot said that, and then they just send them against each other. They beat each other up, and then they come in and again dialectic problem reaction solution. We're coming in, we'll sort it out, but the solution they're offering is the same compliance and control they always needed. So people just can't see the divide and rule, but they've always done it.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Most people are not seeing it. Most people can't see it. It's the same with the council culture that you're seeing at the moment. Anybody who speaks about certain things, then they send the council mob out to go and get them. And the same council mob are the same ones who've been funding people like George Soros for funding them. Same with that BLM. It's all funded by the same kind of groups of people. They're all in on it, and they all know what they're doing. They're all in on it. It's just that the masses can't see how they're being. The masses, I can't see how they're being divided. They can't see it. They're just saying them over there are doing this, them over there are doing that, and they're the enemy. But they can't see that the same sides are pushing everybody into the middle, and it's just chaos. And then they're sorting out the order, modus operandi, order abdo chaos. It's the same thing again and again and again.
They're
Nothing's new.
exploit-
There's nothing new. It's nothing new they're using. It's nothing new. They've done this time and time again. And the people still don't see it. Like, the thing is, I don't get how people can't see it. It's so obvious. To me, it's so blatant what they're doing. But most people are like zombies. They don't see it. They're automatons. They're not functioning on an automatonic level. They don't see it. They genuinely don't see it as well. That's the thing I find most interesting, is the fact that they genuinely don't see it.
It's easy to explain. Because of these people